there's no way they can get back in return 1 year later what they traded away for Russell Westbrook. So should the Rockets trade him? If they could trade him for what they traded for him, sure. But they can't. They're stuck. They're between a rock and a hard place. Russell Westbrook and James Harden have to make this work. They have to. They have to make this work. And look, I think if you're Westbrook and you're Harden, I realize you're getting up there in age. Harden's 31 years old. You want a chance to compete. Well, the Rockets were pretty good last year. And had there not been a shutdown last season, had there not been the pandemic, many people thought that going into the playoffs, the Rockets were the second best threat behind only the Clippers to taking out the Lakers. And some thought that the Rockets were the best threat in the West to take out the Lakers. It didn't end up coming to fruition once we got to the postseason. But you know what? The regular season was pretty solid in Houston. And if they thought, well, it's all about Daryl Morey, it's all about Mike D'Antoni, okay, that's one part of the equation. But you, I think, have some type of loyalty or responsibility to try to make this work this upcoming season. I really do. I think in Houston, Russell Westbrook deserves, or they deserve to get a second year out of him instead of already banging on the wall saying, get me out of here. And Daryl Morey, look, I think that this is also a bad sign for that organization. Daryl Morey said he wanted to step away from being the GM and to do everything in Houston because he wanted to spend time with his family, and then a few weeks later signed on in Philadelphia. Very obviously, this was an Urban Meyer type thing of hiding behind your family as an excuse to leave, even though it's not truthful, it's not honest. You jump back into the fray as soon as you got a job that you liked. Daryl Morey only spent 2 weeks with his family and then said, you know what, I'm good with this. We're going to go on and become a GM again or a director of basketball operations. So maybe that says something about the Rockets organization. Maybe that says, hey, it's not a healthy environment there. Maybe the new ownership, maybe the pressure, maybe there's something going on in the inner workings. Maybe Russell Westbrook didn't like playing with James Harden for the year. Apparently, there was plenty of things that drove people kind of sideways in Houston. But if you're Russell Westbrook and you wanted out of Oklahoma City a year ago because you wanted to be in a contender, you went to a contender, and we know this year that the Rockets, despite maybe having a ceiling, still would be a pretty good team of the West. And knowing that the Rockets cannot get back what they traded for you, I think Russell Westbrook has some type of loyalty to stay there for one more season. I really do.